Welcome everybody. I am GeorgeAnne, your host of Stitching Plaza Knits, and this is a knitting podcast. We also talk about crocheting, sewing, and everyday craftiness that can fit into this little podcast of mine. You can find me on the interwebs as Stitching Plaza, and that's Facebook, Instagram, and Ravelry, and I am also a bag maker. Some of these are mine at www.stitchingplaza.com. I will talk a little bit about the bags in Shop Update. We are at episode 10. I cannot believe it only took 16 months to get to about this spot in my life. In that 16 months, we have gone through a long hiatus, a couple of name changes, and I wanted to also, address the lack of a co-host today. Jessica and I have decided to split our podcast back into two. We had a difficult time scheduling with a 6,200 mile difference, 15-hour time difference. She and her husband are active duty. Well, she's active duty wife of husband who is on deployment right now. So her time is not her own. So scheduling became just difficult. So I understand she is going to be going back to podcasting. If you enjoy her style and her knits, which are absolutely gorgeous, I highly encourage you to check her out. But, excuse me, if you've been with me from the very beginning, I appreciate you sticking out with me. And if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Grab your knits, grab your crochet, and let's just spend some time together. I'll introduce myself real quick for anybody who is new. I am a stay-at-home mom with an autistic son. He is absolute end all for me. He is everything a mom could want. And so I stay at home and I have the business, and I also raise our two puppies who are Rolo, who's about 11, and Baxter, who is 6. And like I said, they are puppies, and they both think they're lap dogs, and they are not. We live here in sunny San Diego, where it is a gorgeous 76 degrees today, and I live right near the international airport, so occasionally you hear airplanes going overhead, and you'll definitely hear some people in our pool. I've got all the windows open today. It's absolutely gorgeous. We get a great cross ventilation here, so if you hear that noise or if I have to pause, I apologize, but it's the cost of living in heaven here. So like I said, I am Stitching Plaza. We do have a Ravelry group at Stitching Plaza Knits, and I hope you'll join us and check us out there. I do want to address a couple of our winners. We have our winner of Southern Skein yarn. Whoops, there it is. Southern Skein, and this one was called Cosmic Rainbow, and it's going to post number 5, which is Miss Marby, MSMARBI. I will ear burn you on Instagram, but on Ravelry. Get a hold of me so I can get this gorgeous, scrumptious yarn out to you. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see that stellina just popping right out, but it is gorgeous. We also, there it is. We also have our travel along that has come to an end, and the winner will be receiving a Stitching Plaza bag. And that went to post number 37, Arkansas Yarn Co. So again, I will ear burn you in the Ravelry group and get a hold of me so I can get your gorgeousness out to you. Which brings me to the Ravelry group. We have a lot happening in there. I keep saying we. I apologize. It took me a while to talk to a co-host, and now it's taking me a while to remember I'm the host. So we're breathing. So we're going to have a question of the week. It's actually a question every 2 weeks, but you can win this gorgeous, it's actually 3 hanks, but it's 100% merino superwash wool. It's the pink, the variegated is 400 yards, and the mini is 73 yards, and it is gifted to us by Winsy Pinsy Creations, and it's on her Tippy Toes. Tippy Toes is her colorway, and it's on her, like I said, 100% superwash merino. So the question for this week will be, what is your Grail yarn? What yarn do you just absolutely, absolutely love that you might not have, or you might have, and it's in your deep stash and you haven't figured out what you want to make with it yet? Go in the Ravelry group. I'll have the question up as soon as this thing posts today, and I will, in 2 weeks or next time we podcast, I will draw a winner by random number generator. I will also, something I never did before, but I'm learning that are really important, is show notes. So you can find our show notes in our Ravelry group. And if you're watching this through Ravelry, they're just right underneath. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link to the Ravelry group, which will have the show notes, which will be underneath. Does that all make sense? I feel like I just ran a minute mile. Okay, so what have I been up to? Well, some of you might or might not know that I am partaking in Stash Dash this year. This is my first time, and it's put together by Knit Girls. The goal is really from the end of May, which is May 25th, to the end of August. So you're looking at your whole summer. You're trying to clear your needles and de-stash by creating beautiful, gorgeous things. So they're very, very friendly and forgiving for Stash Dash. It's a personal goal. There's no prizes awarded. And so you can basically have items that are in your project bags that you have been languishing for a while. And then starting May 25, if you finish them, you can use their meterage in your Stash Dash total. So I have actually gotten some things off the needles. And let me start with this lovely Michigan Avenue wrap. And this one is acrylic. I had planned on this being a Stash Dash. I used Michael's Joy DK for this, and I actually blocked it. Ooh, that looks nice. This was made for a Christmas gift, and I blocked it simply by letting it soak in my soak for about 20-30 minutes, wringing it out, not worrying about if it agitated, and then putting it out on a towel outside in the shape that I wanted it, with a little bit of a stretch. And I will tell you, blocking acrylic was something I never thought I would do, but I'm very glad I did, because my stitches now pop. It evened out my stitches, so I know for a fact that I had a couple where my gauge was really, really loose. So by wringing it out and whatever magic the water and soak did, it definitely worked to my advantage, and I am very pleased that this will be a gift to someone I care about very much. We've worked together through thick and thin many years ago, and where it's going, I won't say her name, but she might or might not, I think she watches this, so she's a mommy, and she's going to get this. So now I got to work on the rest of the part of the Christmas gift. So one done, and this was, I believe, 750 meters from my Stash Dash. So that was one off. This one has been languishing. Oh my goodness. This was a make along, and I am ashamed to say that I failed my make along with the Cozy Up sisters. Their patterns, their podcasts, they're just really awesome, and I highly recommend them. But this was the sister shawl. And if you've been watching me since we've come back, you have seen this make its growth. And let me see. Yeah. This is the front. And by no means did I expect this to grow as much as it did when I blocked it. I have a dining room table for 6. And I have blocking pads. This not only was over the chairs of the 6 of the dining room table, it was falling over the chairs. But again, blocking is a new concept to me. I now understand why it's a necessary evil, and I don't really think it's an evil anymore. I got yarn fuzz, so I apologize. It made such a difference. Such a difference. I did use blocking wires, which I have found out you can pick up wires at a hardware store, and it's the, I don't know what the technical name is, but it's the soldering wire that you, when you're welding, it makes the extra metal. You can get those in any length. So they, well, no, I'm sorry, they come in 36-inch length. The blocking wires I had were 30. They're stainless steel. I got them over at Home Depot. I got 15 for $10. So it really is cost effective. I definitely recommend checking out your Home Depot or a welding, if you know of a place that has welding supplies. But it made the difference. My edges are crisp. My length is awesome. This one will definitely be worn by me. This is mine. Now, if you know anything about this pattern, it was made by all four sisters. There's two twins, and then the eldest, second oldest, and then the twins. And up to here, this half of the pattern, I followed the instructions because you do a provisional cast on. When you pick up the other side, you're supposed to do the same thing because it's for the twin. Well, my thinking was twins, as much as they're identical, and the girls are, I wanted them to each have to have its own personality. So whereas this one was diamonds, this one was I guess waves. It's called a horseshoe lace. But look at that. Oh my goodness. I was so pleased with myself. That's the first time I've ever really mod a pattern, and I think I got bitten by the pattern writing bug. I'm not sure. I want to do it. I'm just not sure if I could write it down and then have a tester or testors understand my instructions. So I may be putting out a shawl pattern in the next couple of weeks, and I will be looking for testers, obviously, if I venture into this, and that will be on my Instagram, which is StitchingPlaza. But this was 1,200 meters. 1,200 meters. So I've already, right here, I'm doing good on my stash dashing. And then the mojo socks that took my mojo. They got done. And I love the feel of opal. I didn't really notice that much about, if a self-striping yarn would be for me. This is my second pair of opal yarn, and I do love it. This is got a little bit of a halo on it, and all I added was Knit Picks Peapod, I believe it is, for heels, toes, and cuffs. And the yardage you get on opal is amazing. I have enough, probably do not only a square in my blanket, but I might attempt a mini, not a mini, shorty socks. But I'm not sure how I feel about having a pair of mid-cut and shorties in the same pattern. So we'll see. We'll see what moves me. But yeah, socks that took my mojo are done. I'm so pleased with that. So this was 325 meters. So we're over 1,000 meters at this point. So we're doing good. Oh, but I do need to take my sock blockers back. So this has been in just 3 weeks since I've been able to get all this done. I'm not sure how I did it. Usually I'm up with my son fairly early, and we're on the go till about midnight with spending time with my husband. So this is just like keep it in the car, take it to the movies. I do a lot of movie knitting. We went to an event. Well, I went to an event on Sunday this past week, and it was a celebration of life. for a friend of ours who had passed, and I walked around with my knitting, and people were in awe that I could do that. I don't know why, but it feels like if I'm not knitting or if I'm not creating, I'm wasting my time. And especially after losing a friend of mine, it's like life is too short. I'm going to fulfill every minute I can with as much as I can that makes me happy. But these socks that I did start and finish in the past 3 weeks. Well, no, I think you saw the beginning of them. Oh, look at that. Beginning of the last podcast. But these are Milky Robot yarn, and I think she's stopped dyeing. Excuse me. And I didn't know, I reclaimed the shawl. It was a Renya shawl that I made. I didn't like it because again, first time blocking, I did not understand what I was doing. It was bad. It was bad. So I reclaimed the yarn. Heels and cuffs are Knit Picks Pucker. I will let you know how I feel about my shorties. I did the heel, I did 40 rows, and then I did a 10-row cuff. I'm not sure if I'm a shorty sock person. I'm either, so we'll see. There may be more. I don't know. I'm also getting like a major glare on my glasses. Woo. So, sadly, I think this is only about maybe 200, maybe 300 meters at most. But they were made during Stash Dash. I'm counting them. So those are my finished projects. They're blocked. They're put away. I actually, before the podcast, I need to remember not to put away finished garments until I podcast. Because we were pulling the house apart going, where are they? Where's the Christmas gifts? Where? So we're not going to do that anymore. So anything else that I'm working on that does complete and I'm going to podcast about, they're going to go someplace. I don't know where. So, socks done. 2 pairs of socks, 2 shawls completed. Yes. And I will tell you, let me tell you, I watch a lot of other podcasts, especially when I'm sewing. Melissa of Honeybee Knits came up with a very cool idea in order to finish her languishing whips, she put all the names into a jar. She pulled out a name, and that was what she worked on. Well, great idea, Melissa. I have put all my works in progress into my jar, including my scrappy blankets. And what I'm doing is, especially if I pull a scrappy blanket, I'm only working on it for 1 day complete. So that's this. I picked this up at like TJ Maxx for $1. Although my husband tells me that the dog bones would look great in this, and I'm thinking, no, this is mine. So it's perfect behind my desk. So I just, if I start a new whip, if I can't control myself and I have to knit something, it has to go in here so that I am not paying special attention to any one thing, but I'm getting stuff done. And that's how I was able to work down the sister shawl. I pulled it. I knew I wanted to finish it, probably one of my first items, but I kept going, I'll work on it again, and pulled it, and I was like, gotta stay true to myself. So, such is life. But let me show you what I have been working on lately, because Lord knows I need lots of projects to keep me going. No, you do not have to adjust the color. They are that bright. They are that gorgeous. Nymphwork Dye Works. Fiber Nymph Dye Works. Did these beautiful pre-order self-striping pool noodles. And this is her 80/20 base. And it's gorgeous. I started this 2 nights ago. My standard vanilla sock recipe. They're on my 2.5s Chow Goose. Doing 30 across because it is a small, I think it's more of a single ply. And so I'm almost to the heel. These are going to be done very quickly. And I'm loving them. So these are my first pair of vanilla. I think they're my only socks on my needles. I have nothing back here. This is, well, this one is a sweater that I'm still on the fence about. I'll talk to you later about it. But yeah, this may be done because they are my only socks. We are going to SeaWorld this week. I'm trying to figure out if I bring my knitting, how can I keep it dry? I'll let you know how I figure that one out. But maybe I'll have to do something else so I don't know. But I'm going to definitely bring my socks to SeaWorld. And then I pulled out, excuse me, it's like all the way around here. Something that I have shown no love to for almost 2 months. And it's been a while since you guys saw this, but not much has been done on it. It's my cozy memory. So by me showing it to you today, I so solemnly swear that I will weave in my ends because they're all ended. And then I will start putting on progress keepers so that we all know which ones I did. It's a 60 stitch cast on 30 and 30. I'm saying this to remind myself because every time I go to put on a square, I have to go back and count. But I'm in no rush to finish this one. I just pulled it out last night. I needed a little mindless, don't want to think, don't want to try on a sock, just don't want to knitting. And this was absolutely perfect for it. But I'm also trying to balance, since I went into the self-striping craze, self-striper. This was a self-striping, but somehow it worked out well. Self-striping. And the one I'm on now is a self-striping as well. So I'm trying to integrate so that they don't all hang out together. Right now we have a crochet one. We have a crochet granny square stripe, which was the Attic 24, which Rolo, the lapdog, that's not a lapdog, has decided is his blanket. Can't say no to him. He says he is just so sweet. And well, this one might be mine. So if Rolo lets me keep it, this one's mine. I do have to show you this. Let's see if I can reach it. Nothing. Be right back. Okay, this one you saw 3 weeks ago. This one is now my newest. Got to get it off the needles. I'm showing you the right side. This is my Drachenfeld in worsted. I'm not worsted, double DK. Again, I went back to the Joy at Michael's. There's a lot of yardage on it, but I've used 2 skeins so far of the coral. And now this is just garter, 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 changing rows. I do love this pop of color. I was down here last time you saw me. I have not worked on this all week. This needs to come out of hibernation. And again, I love the color, but I'm looking at my complexion now on the screen. I've been sitting out by the pool, which with the cancer drugs, sometimes I get a little bit more bronzy than I expect to be, or then I get really red, and then I turn bronzy in very strange patterns. But looking at my complexion with the pink, I'm not sure it's going to work for me. So this was earmarked to be a Christmas gift. I think I'm going to still finish it as a Christmas gift, but it's a fun knit, and it may have to, the pattern may be knitted again. But this is a Melanie Berg Drachenfeld paid pattern. A lot of fun. Not difficult at all. I would say it could be mindless knitting watching TV, but you're remembering what row of the increase you're on, and then especially when you're in the stripes, you have to make sure you're in the right color of the increase to go ahead. Again, pave pattern, don't want to give too much away with it, but at first I thought it was color work. It is not. It's all single strand knitting, single color strand, row knitting. It's cozy, it's warm. We'll see what happens. Speaking of cozy and warm, speaking of DK knitting, this is why I haven't knit on a dragon build. Which is funny because my dragon is on this one, my dragon progress keeper. This is Cozy Up with the Sisters, Cozy Up Designs, which I'm showing you the right way, Chrissy shawl. I wanted something very subdued. My favorite color is purple. And when I was going through, I got this in the Knit Picks. Oops, where are you? There we go. Swish DK. And when I was looking at the colors, the purple, the eggplant, and the jade, which is the green, you see, they sort of work together, and I do think it's very subdued. This is more me on the colorways, and I think this one will definitely be for me. I was never a shawl knitter, but I became one. I want to become a sweater knitter. I want to become a cardigan knitter. I didn't start knitting socks until maybe 7 years ago. Then I didn't knit for a good period of time during my divorce, and then dating John, and then marrying John. I don't think I knitted anything more than maybe a couple washcloths. So I'm a very cycle knitter, which makes me ask you, am I a process knitter or am I a project knitter? If I would rather tear out the project if I'm not happy with it. I think that's a process knitter. I think it's a project knitter, but I'm not sure. My local yarn store and I, we were sitting, she has a knit group every Wednesday, and I had been working on these, and I got to about here, and I ripped them out and started all over again. And she's like, oh, did you drop a stitch? I'm like, no, I just didn't like how it looked. It hasn't changed much. I just changed my stitch count. But we went on, and we were talking, and we couldn't remember what process knitter is versus project knitter. So if you could help me out, that would be awesome. But this is very soothing, and I gotta tell you, if you look at this, this is called the Cozy Garter Stitches, and it's, when I bought this, I hope I don't lose that coziness, because I could cuddle into this. And I got this one, Knit Picks was having their 15% off sale. Really like it. Knit Picks is a good yarn when you want something. I'm definitely a person of size. I wear anywhere from a extra large to a 2X depending on cut. And sometimes I don't know if I can always swing a couple $100. Well, I know I can't swing a couple $100 for a project for me. I wish I could. So Knit Picks, when it has a sale, I'm on it. And for the longest time, all I was doing was heels, toes, and cuff in stroll. And now I'm looking at it going, okay, well, if I can get, this is 100% superwash, and it's 50 grams, and I think it's like it's 123 yards. So I needed 4 of these because the pattern calls for 200 yards in a DK. Oh, and by the way, her patterns for Cozy Up Sisters, she designed it in a DK, and then she released it again. The same pattern has the fingering weight. So if you want a twofer, go visit Cozy Up. They're really smart girls there. I grew up an only child, so I never knew what it was like to have siblings. Oh my goodness. They're so much fun to watch. And so I love the sister dynamics. So girls, you're doing a great job. This old lady loves you. So thank you for giving me that entertainment. I really do wait for you to come online. So, whew. So I have done my finished projects and my widths. Yes. I do have dream knitting though. Let me just peek around this side of the computer. There's nothing there. But on this side, we're going to see. So I don't know why, but I have become a little obsessed with a Stephen West project. One of the girls at our knit night has made the doodler. And it was so understated and not Stephen West colorways, I realized, dude, you can make your own colorways. You can not be over the top. Where was I not thinking this before? So this is quite probable. This is a top runner for my Stephen West colors in the doodler. So I don't know if those colors are coming true, but this is Knit Picks Hawthorne. Heartland Muse in their Hubba Bubba. I think it's like after their bubblegum. And then this was, I don't even know what this was. Oh, this is a friend in Washington State that I discovered from another friend who I used to be in knit group at least 20 years ago. Fred, I'll put it inside, but I'll put all the yarns that these are on the side. But very reasonable, hand dyed. I love when a lot of hand dyers come into the market, and I'm probably going to get some hate mail for this, but they come into the market, and we all know if you're buying hand dyed off Etsy, you're looking at anywhere from $26 to $32, depending on what you're looking at, if it's a self-striping, if the yarn itself has an MCN base, or if it's a fingering, if it's super merino, we know that. But when a brand new dyer comes into the marketplace and is still learning their trade, when they come in at the $27 and they've had one sale, I'm like, I'm not going to be the second sale quite yet. I want to see what other people have to say. Does the fabric run? Are they using, the Felici base, which is fine. I used to dye with Felici base, but I also didn't sell it at that higher end. Well, this young lady has been in the market for a while. She's got beautiful colorways, and she's at the lower end of the spectrum on the cost. And I don't know how she does it. Please, I love it. I want to make my dollars go as far as they can. It's very pushy, and I will let you know. Again, I'll put her name somewhere in here. It'll definitely be in the show notes. But I think that's really cool because, again, I would rather be the first or second buyer of a $20 skein as opposed to a $35, $30 skein be the second buyer, because I like to know if my stripes are going to run, if my colors are going to be okay. My son and I went for lunch, so I'm still sipping on what we drank. Pick this up. This is, Corinne, I'm going to butcher your name, I know that, but it's Hawaii Bazaar Yarns. She's a local dyer. Again, her pricing is very good. Look at that. I bought this thinking TARDIS, but I don't know if you can see that Stellina. But this is her starry base, 7525. Meg from Bad Wolf Girls. This is her sprouts. And then you want to talk awesome yarn? Go check out Southern Skeins. Look at that. So, let's see if I can get you there. That might be a doodler too, or another 3 skein. But that one I will grab this when I'm wearing jeans, and I'm definitely a cool color person, so not sure which one. But these are my dream knits. These are my dream knits. This is what I might think of doing. Nothing else going on with that. I didn't get a lot of yarns this week. I've been trying to, with summer here, wanting to do things with my kid. I'm trying not to go to Etsy as much or local. Well, I go to local yarn shop every week, just because, not only because of the knit group, but because she has my bags in her shop, and I just like having that personal touch with her. So I've been really good trying to knit through some stash. We all say that. We all put ourselves on a self-imposed yarn diet. I'm not on a diet. I'm not buying yarn if I see it. I'm just trying to think, if I buy this yarn, do I have a reason to buy this yarn? But I will show you one that came in, and then I'll continue this train of thought. Again, Southern Skeins. Look at this baby. Cosmic Rainbow. 75-25. But this is what I'm talking about. I love the colors in this yarn. I don't know what I'm going to make with it. So I guess this would bring me into life chatter. There's nothing wrong with buying yarn. There's nothing wrong with buying fabric. There's nothing wrong in buying things that make you happy. With that said, when those things that make you happy make you want to hide a credit card bill, I think that's when I personally cross the line. And John is very, very understanding. I've never had to say, I bought this and I need to hide this. No, he's never been like that. And I'm very fortunate. And when I read Facebook and I see people talking about, oh, I had to hide this or smuggle it into the house, I feel really bad because it's supposed to make you happy. But with that said, I am going to post my stash and what it looks like in our Ravelry group. And I encourage everybody else to buy or knit or crochet with what makes you happy. But I want to see what you got. So there will be a challenge to post your stash in the group. And then we will do throughout the year, knit down your stash. And I know you've heard these before, and I know you probably have Box in the Socks. What is it? I know Wool and Vine does a box of socks every year. Keep doing it. Keep doing this. This is a dip into as many cows as you can, but I will pull a winner every, see, it's June, so I will pull a winner every quarter. So the next one will be pulled, so June, July, August, September. I'll pull in the beginning of September, and then I'll pull again in the beginning of December, so that if there's anything to before Christmas, we'll try to get it before Christmas. The holiday rush, I shouldn't just say Christmas. But if it's in your stash, and what constitutes in your stash? If you put it from the bag onto a bookshelf, it's now in your stash. If you bought it and once it arrives, it's in your stash. Enjoy your knitting. Enjoy your crocheting. Don't worry about it. There will be a finished objects and there will be a chatter thread. So when I pull for the winners, I will definitely pull from the finished objects. I want to see what you've been working on. I want to encourage myself. You're motivating me. So if you finish this blanket that you started, God, I don't know when, and you finish it before December 2018, please post it. Help me get through my stash. Help me. I used to have it in a little milk crate, one of those, like 6x6. No, 12x12. That was my stash. Then we moved it into the footstool, which is 24x24x24. That got full. You may have seen photos of my husband punching it down because it was so full that his legs would wiggle when he would relax on them. Now I have the bookshelf. This whole side is my grays, my tonal grays. This side, and I will show pictures, I'm not ashamed, is my self-striping, mostly self-striping. Yeah, self-striping sock yarn. Fun, gorgeous yarn. Variegateds are in the footstool now. Oh yeah, and there's stuff in the closet. He knows about that. Again, he wouldn't care. But that I'm going to make a wallaby sweater once I get through my first sweater. I would love to see what you have. Share with me. So come over to the Ravelry group. It's Stitching Plaza Knits. And come join the chatter. Come join the group. You can't win unless you're part of the group. Come talk to us. Come chatter with us. I would love to chat with you. Chat amongst yourselves. Get to know each other. This is open international. I don't mind sending to Australia. I don't mind sending to down the street in San Diego. Bring it on. But let's see what you're doing. Help me out, please. With all that said and done, I want to talk a little bit about my shop. I love my shop. It has allowed me to stay home with my son and be on his schedule. If we have a doctor's appointment, I can go to the doctor's appointment and not worrying about, okay, well, I called out sick. I can't go on, da da da. I love it. I've also, I've been in business since April 15, 2016, so it's a little over 2 years. I am going to be staying on Etsy. A lot of dyers and bag makers are talking right now of leaving Etsy. I am going to be staying on Etsy, not raising my prices. If you don't know what I'm talking about, as of June 16th, Etsy has decided that they are going to increase the cost to the sellers, that's us, and a lot of people are either leaving Etsy or increasing their prices. We had a family meeting with my husband, and we have decided we would rather have a good customer base and be loyal to our customers than increase our prices at this time. I'm not saying at the end of the year, if I get hit with price increases for materials, I might have to raise it a little, but I don't want to. My goal is to always make your bags and your accessories as affordable as they can so that you can buy the loveliness in yarn. With all that being done, we are slowly moving from a made-to-order company to what's in stock and ready to ship. It takes a lot of pressure off of me. So if you see something and it says there is one in stock, there literally is one in stock. And these will be under the ready-to-ship categories. If it's in the made-to-order, that has a turnaround time of anywhere to 2 to 3 weeks. So if you're thinking for a birthday present and the birthday is in 2 weeks, I advise you to either look at the ready to ships or contact me directly and see if we can work a schedule. I'm not going to say, no, I'm not going to stick to the 2 to 3 week turnaround. I may be very light in the loads and I can definitely put it in. I've been wanting to tell you all that and the words just weren't coming, but they came. And they were very verbose. So what's new to my shop and what will be ready to ship? This is a one of a kind. This will be ready to ship. But right now, it's little pink cabins with polka dots interior, drawstring. These are in I used to call my sock to shawl bags because I could ideally put I could easily put a sock in there. I can usually put 2 cakes in there with a shawl up to a certain size. They're very squishy, but they are interfaced because I want to be able to, they're box bottom. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but we'll see if I can do it. It's not going to work on my hand. But when you are knitting at your knit group, it should stand up on the table. I don't know if you can sort of see that. So they're all interfaced, all bags are interfaced with and have box bottoms with the idea to be a stand-up bag. So this will be added to the shop. Right now it's a one of a kind, so if you like it, I would definitely grab it. I found this gorgeous fabric like in the back of my stash of yarn. I don't know why I didn't make it, but it's my Wonder Woman bag. Lined with the stars. She's a zipper, and she is in what I would call, what I used to call my shawl to sweater, but as I'm adding, it's a really good shawl to the end, or start with your shawl, or start with your sweater and move up a bag later. But she is 14 by 17, And then she also has the box bottom. All my zipper bags are about this size. I try to stay very true. So that one will be in our shop. I love this one. This is sheepies. Gray sheeps with a couple of black sheeps hanging out. With a gray center. So if you still need stuff for your fiber shirt person, check it out. More sheepies. Purple bottom. Zipper. Love this interior. Very, very classic on the outside with a little fun on the inside. As I'm saying this, I'm thinking about the mullet going business in the front and party in the back. So you can tell I was definitely in my 20s in the 80s. And then this is just a fun little sheep bag. It's a drawstring right now. I will definitely be making up more of these. I have enough fabric, but again, they will be going in the made to orders. I'm slowly diversing out of this will be going in the ready to ships. I'm slowly diversing out of the made to order. Also, I'm going to start selling a couple items that with Etsy's copyright laws, they don't allow a lot of, if something's been copyrighted, they're very strict on the copyrights. Now, how am I able to do something with the Harry Potters there? Because it says on the fabric, there's a law that says that you can use it for commercial use. Other products, not so much. So my Hamilton bags will be available eventually again. Those will be through Instagram only. Best thing I do is connect on the webs with me. If you're liking what you see, I hope you do. Please hit the subscribe button underneath. And if you want to know when I come back, because I'm trying to get back on a 2-week schedule, hit the little alarm. I hope you give me a thumbs up. Thumbs ups are really important to showcasing the podcast for other people with similar interests as you. I don't think I have ever left a thumbs down. If you don't like something, nobody's ever making you watch something. So why not just move on? I would rather leave no feedback than give negative feedback. Definitely I hope you'll stick around. It's been a tumultuous couple of weeks with the change and just everything. I enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you're enjoying it enough to subscribe, please do. Please definitely subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Give a thumbs up. Put the little alarm on. I will be seeing you shortly in 2 weeks. I hope to see you again. Do what makes you happy. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the yarn shop.